Hey, and good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. I'm your host, Russ Renault. Thanks for joining us here on another Sunday night in Houston, Texas. We appreciate you being in here after an exciting weekend in UFC action. You saw UFC 292 taking place last night in Boston, and we've got a new bantamweight champion, so we'll get to that in just a second. So if it's your first time joining us here on the show, we do two things. The first thing we do in UFC Fight Cards is we talk about the fight schedule. And so we talk about last night's event, and then we talk about the schedule coming up. And then the next thing we do is we open a box of UFC trading cards. So two meetings to UFC Fight Cards, and we'll cover them both. The cards come later on in the show, but we try to keep the opening a little bit shorter so we get to the cards faster, because that's what we do here, a little bit different than everyone else. We don't go into a lot of fight breakdown. A lot of great places you can catch content like that. We will talk about it, how it relates to the trading card hobby. We go through our hobby top 5 in the middle of the show. We've got a new hobby top 5, and so that's finally changed after a result instead of a product release. So we're really excited for that. Another thing we're really excited about is just launched a new website this week, orange-fire.com. You can find the UFC Fight Cards podcast there. You can also find the Orange Fire Media Houston area brewery maps. You can see one over my right shoulder. Those are for sale there, and the podcast is on there. So just trying to grow with that site, so you can check that out. Leave some feedback. You can contact us there, and if you don't want to contact us there, you can also reach out to me directly, Russ at orange-fire.com. You can also find me on X at FightCardsRuss or at Orange Fire Media. And you can find me on Facebook, Russ Renault, Reneau, or Orange Fire Media. You can also check out our auctions on eBay. So we have an eBay store. It's called Orange Fire Lots of Lots. We've got about 25 card lots listed at a time. We hope, we add everything after the show that's not claimed by people watching the show. We go ahead and put that on eBay. And so we usually have 20 to 25 lots going on. They are listed as single cards a lot of the time, but you're going to get more stuff if I have it. I'm going to throw in some cards, and we'll see here in a minute. When we go through the hits that we've had for the last couple of weeks, you'll see kind of what that looks like when I put together a lot and you get a lot more than you paid for on the auction. So I just like to put people's PCs, get more cards in your hands. I know you may have a lot of the base cards already, but who's going to complain of getting more cards? So anyway, you can see the chat box on there on YouTube. So go ahead and use that. I interact and I will answer your questions. I'll talk to you if you got something on your mind. We can go back and forth while I open cards. It's a lot of fun when we do that. And so utilize that feature and let us know who you collect it, and I'll look out for it when we go through the cards. So let's get it right to it. UFC 292 from Boston last night, and a little personal for me. As you can see over my other shoulder, I'm pointing in the wrong direction. So that Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, UFC 220, that event was also in Boston. So that's the only pay-per-view that I've been to. Went to a fight night here in Houston before, so enjoyed that atmosphere. A great place to be in Boston. And last night they were treated to a new bantamweight champion show. Sugar Sean O'Malley taking out Aljamain Sterling in the second round via the TKO. O'Malley landing a counter right to Sterling's jaw, sending him to the canvas and just pounding him on his feet, just laying down the hammer fist until Mark Goddard stepped in. And Aljo just disoriented, didn't get back up, and then rolled over, and that's when Goddard stopped the fight. So a lot of people say it was early, but as much as I wanted Aljamain Sterling to win that fight, you got to do more than what he did. He's got to get up and make an attempt to get up, and it was just too late. So I have no problem with the stoppage, actually. So what can I say? Congrats to Sean O'Malley. His star was already huge, and now it's just going to take off even more with that belt around his waist. So we'll see what happens going forward. There's a lot of options out there in this bantamweight division. You can go the rematch with Aljo. You can go with Merab Dvalishvili, the number one ranked contender. You can go Corey Sandhagen. I think that's the three options that are there for Sean O'Malley, and we'll see which one happens. So it'll be interesting to see over here the next few months which direction the UFC decides to go, because Aljo was all prepared to go to 145 after this and drop that belt and let everybody else fight for it, but now he doesn't have a say in that, and so he can either move up or run it back with O'Malley, and I don't think anybody would complain about that rematch. So the highest rated bantamweight event in UFC history last night. We also saw another historical performance last night in the women's strawweight championship matchup between the champion Zhang Weili and the number 4 ranked contender Amanda Lemos, and Zhang Weili dominated, and it gets a unanimous decision. The scorecard showed it, just an utter domination by Zhang Weili, and she set a record for a women's event with significant strikes, total strikes, just a ton of strikes. 300, almost 300 total strikes, and about 165 significant strikes landed for Zhang Weili, so looking great doing that, and that could set up that all-Chinese women's strawweight championship matchup between Zhang Weili and Yan Xiaonan. I know that a lot of people would love to see that, so I am one of those included. I would love to see that fight. I was hoping that would happen this time, but Lemos stepped in there, and maybe Yan Xiaonan didn't have enough time to get ready for a championship matchup yet, and so maybe we'll see that down the line. Another event on the main card in the welterweight division had 14th ranked Ian Gary taking on number 11 Neil Magny, who stepped in for Jeff Neal late notice. Had about 2 weeks notice on this one, and Ian Gary, he also took care of business. Big unanimous decision, lopsided decision, and Ian Gary, his star, he was bragging that he was the biggest star on the card, trying to steal some thunder from Sean O'Malley, and Ian Gary delivered. And a lot of people are getting tired of him. That they really liked him at one point, but now just the talk is getting to be a little bit too much for some people. But you got to play the game, and you got to have that character and that charisma, and Ian Gary's just trying the best he can to get his shot. So he's got Leon Edwards in his sights, and so who can blame him? I'm sure he's a great guy and just playing that character a lot like we hear that Colby Covington does. That's not who Colby Covington really is, maybe a little bit, but Colby, by all accounts, is a pretty good dude. Just has to play that character so he can put his name in there, and that he can get that next shot at Leon Edwards, which may happen soon. So just rounding out the main card, and we're not going to go through every single fight, but Mario Bautista defeating Damon Blackshear, unanimous decision. Hey, hats off to Blackshear for turning around and fighting 7 days after last week's win, and just too big of a turnaround, I think, to get that done in a men's matchup. Also saw Marlon Chito Vera defeating Pedro Munoz. Vera ranked number 6, Munoz ranked number 10 in the bantamweight division. So that's the one that Sean O'Malley wants. He lost to Chito in his only loss and wants to avenge that. I think there's a lot of other people in line because Sandhagen beat Chito a few months ago, so it'd be hard to make that matchup right away. Like I said, you either got to go Aljo, Merab, or Sandhagen. I think it's the only options for Sean O'Malley right now. Do want to talk a little bit about the prelims. We don't go over the prelims a lot, but Brad Tavares defeating Chris Weidman, just going to town on those legs, and Weidman compromised already, coming back off that nasty injury. The middleweight matchup, and Tavares getting the unanimous decision. Dana White saying he hopes that Weidman retires after this. He may have torn his ACL and his MCL in this one, and you're looking at 40, 41 years old before Weidman comes back again. So I don't know. Love the heart, former champion. Who can argue? But maybe it's time. So saw Weidman go out on a wheelchair yesterday, and that's not a good look. So also, first round knockout, RoboCop Gregory Rodriguez defeating Dennis Tujulian, and a little controversy in this one. Just watching everything, the elbows to the head. Some people, on social media thinking that maybe RoboCop may get this one overturned to be no contest, thinking those elbows were a little illegal, but we'll see what happens with that one. I did have the Ultimate Fighter finale, and we'll touch on that. So Kurt Holloway defeating Austin Hubbard, second round submission. So, that tough finale if you've been following along with that. And that's really, about all the action that we can talk about, because, like I said, we do want to get to the cards, and we do want to get to our hobby top 5 today. So let's go through what's coming up the next couple of months. I got my notes over here on the side. So next weekend, Fight Night in Singapore. So August 26th, you've got a featherweight matchup between the number 2 ranked contender Max Holloway, the former champion, against number 7 ranked Chan Sung Young, the Korean Zombie. Great matchup there. This should be a really exciting card, actually. I'm looking forward to this Fight Night. Light heavyweight matchup in the co-main, number 7 Anthony Smith against number 10 Ryan Spann. Rematch for those two. Featherweight matchup, number 9 Giga Chikadze taking on number 15 Alex Caceres, and that one's added recently. Another one that I'm really looking forward to, and this is a women's flyweight matchup between the number 3 ranked contender Aaron Blanchfield and number 4 Tyler Santos. Really looking forward to that. That should be a really exciting women's matchup. So those are the highlights from that card, and the rest of it's kind of been filled out here in the last week or so, with a lot of fights added. And then we got Fight Night on September 2nd in Paris, the heavyweight headliner between number 2 Cyril Gane and number 8 Sergey Spivak. And then you've got a women's flyweight matchup between the number 2 flyweight contender Manon Fiorot and the number 2 strawweight contender and the former strawweight champion Rose Namajunas, making her flyweight debut in a long-awaited return to the octagon. Another ranked fighter in action on that card, number 8 Volkan Ozdemir against Azamat Murzakanov in a light heavyweight bout for that one. Then we get to September 9th, and that's a big one, UFC 293 in Sydney, and we've got the middleweight champion Israel Adesanya taking on the number 5 ranked contender Sean Strickland. And the co-main is a heavyweight matchup between number 6 Tai Tuivasa and number 8 Alexander Volkov. Also got a ranked top 10 flyweight matchup between number 5 Kai Kara France and number 10 Manel Kape. So then moving on to UFC Noche. This is a big one. September 16th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. So this, for what is a fight night event, this is huge. Women's flyweight title on the line. The champion Alexa Grasso against the number 1 ranked contender, the former champion Valentina Shevchenko, in their rematch. Got to see what's going on with the co-main, see if somebody's going to step up and take on number 6 ranked welterweight Shavkat Rakhmonov, stepping in for Kelvin Gastelum. We'll see what happens there. And a top 15 women's flyweight matchup between Tracy Cortez and Jasmine Jusudavicius. Then we get to Fight Night, September 23rd at the Apex. And we've got a lightweight main event, number 6 Rafael Fiziev taking on number 7 Mateusz Gamrot. And just added what is the co-main event right now in the featherweight division, number 11 Bryce Mitchell against number 13 Dan Ige. Then UFC 294, October 22nd in Abu Dhabi. The lightweight champion Islam Makhachev taking on the former champion and the number 1 ranked contender Charles Oliveira. Hamzat Chimaev against Paulo Costa in a middleweight matchup, top 7 there, 4 against 7. Then Fight Night, November 5th, Sao Paulo, Brazil. This one announced last week. Headliner number 5 Curtis Blades against number 9 Jailton Almeida in the heavyweight division, in Almeida getting to fight in his home country. And then the only other one on the schedule right now is the big one, UFC 295, November 11th in New York, Madison Square Garden. You got the heavyweight champion, the greatest of all time, John Jones, taking on the heavyweight GOAT, Stipe Miocic, the number 3 ranked contender. So that is the UFC schedule for the upcoming months, and we'll see what happens. See if anything else is announced this week. So now let's switch gears a little bit and let's get into our hobby top 5 before we start opening this box of Donruss. We're going to look at a new hobby top 5, a new graphic and everything. Then we'll look at the hits that we've had. So here we go with the hobby top 5, and we'll start off with number 5. And moving down a spot this week is Erin Blanchfield. So the best women's rookie in the 2023 product. She comes in at number 5. Now number 4 is Khamzat Chimaev. So he's hanging in there. Hasn't been in action in a while, but still hanging in as people still collect Khamzat a lot. We've got a new number 3 this week, and it is the new bantamweight champion, Sugar Sean O'Malley. So that should do a lot for his stock in the card market, and that puts O'Malley at number 3 this week. And he enters the hobby top 5 for the first time. So at number 2 is Shavkat Rakhmonov, a rookie from last year. Everybody's still after Shavkat, undefeated, and has finished every match he's been in. Bo Nickel is still number 1 this week, the hottest rookie in the 2023 product. So Bo hanging on that number 1 spot. There you see it again. Nickel, Rakhmonov, O'Malley, Chimaev, and Erin Blanchfield. So that's our hobby top 5. It's not the top 5 fighters in the UFC right now, pound for pound. It is a hobby top 5 of the fighters that people are collecting, and who is going for the most in breaks, who people PC the most, just by kind of keeping an ear to the ground, what people are looking for. That's how we make that up. And so there you go for this week. We've got a new hobby top 5 finally. So as I showed you earlier, we're going to be opening this hobby box of Donruss, and just to let you know what we've got coming up the next couple of weeks, that we're going to be opening our last 2 hobby boxes of Donruss, and we've got about 4 or 5 base sets, 1 through 200. If anybody's interested in those, we can certainly put one of those together and send one to you. Probably have 1 or 2 more by the time we get done with these last 3 boxes. And we've got 4 boxes of Prism after that. So 4 hobby boxes of Prism coming up in the next month or so, and we'll be going back through and looking at some more Prism. We're excited about that because I really don't feel that we've had a case hit out of either one of these yet. So still kind of looking for that. So let's go through what we've hit the last few weeks, and we're going to start with Select because we don't have any of that left, but we did open 2 boxes of Select, and that's kind of our biggest one that we're holding on to right now, because we've got this Jack Della Maddalena purple. It's numbered to 49, this auto, so that's a big one right now. I've also got Corey Sandhagen with a tie-dye auto, numbered to 25. And like I said, when you buy one, you buy the number cards, and this one also go with it. And this is a red Prism, number to 199. And then you got some Corey Sandhagen cards to throw in there. So I've got a few there, and even a 1985 baseball style with it from the 2020 Topps. So you get all those just thrown in for buying the other 2. Still holding on to Alexander Rakic Sparks Silver Prism, number to 99. And like I said, that'll get you whatever non-numbered color cards I have, and that's a silver. Even got your press proofs. I know you probably got them all, but throw them in there anyway. Billy Quarantillo with the Sparks as well. This one's not numbered. Then we get into some of the other color that we have. Drew Dober, lime green. the neon green, and then Dustin Poirier with the white. That one's numbered to 125. The Dober is 49, no, 75 on the neon green. And Poirier, Verna Jandiroba is the last one that we have, rookie, numbered to 175. So that is all the select that we have. I should say that's all the number. We do have a few other color cards. We got some John Jones tricolor, some things like that, some tricolor cards. Let's go with the Prism next, because that's what we'll be getting into later on in a few weeks. Got a pretty good lot working to Vizriel Adesanya, because we got this autograph redemption that we sent in that will be paired with this purple. That's numbered to 149. Then we've got another little lot here of a couple auto and a numbered card. BJ Penn we sent off for this one. This redemption, and then we paired that with what we hit last week. And we got this red hollow laser from Donruss, numbered to 75. Also got silver hall monitors from Prism. And we got green retail, and we've got a whole bunch of BJ Penns to throw in there. Bryce Mitchell, got a little bit of Bryce Mitchell, starting with the Mojo, number 25. Blue Wave, green in the retail. Those press proofs, some stuff like that. Lucas Almeida, rookie in here with the blue, numbered to 175. Comes with a ruby wave and a silver. Like I said, you can reach out. That's why we do this show the way we do, is we don't want you to have to buy into a break to get what you're looking for. You can come on here and just buy what is open and not have to buy the fighter. This is our last numbered Prism card that we have right now. It's Sadyakub Kakramanov. That's a red, numbered to 199. So just come in here and see what we have. And if you like something, just reach out to me. Like I said, Russ at orange-fire.com, and you can find us everywhere. At Fight Cards Russ or at Orange Fire Media on Instagram and X, and then Facebook. You can my personal profile, Russ Renault, Reneau, or Orange Fire Media. So pick it up before it makes it to eBay. So the last thing we want to get into before we open this box is take a look at our Donruss stack, and I'm going to be careful with this one. So we've got a few, because we got a big Anderson Silva lot that's in there. So be careful with that. So we're holding on to it. We've got this Marvin Vettori auto that's just a base auto. It's not numbered. There you can see a bunch of Marvin Vettori. Got Damon Jackson. Got the auto with the blue hollow laser. The autos are numbered to 25. So you got the rated rookie, got silver press proof base. Pick up all those. Like I said, we got a bunch of Anderson Silva that I'm trying to move here, because I've just got a bunch of cards and they need to go. So need a good home. So we got the Anderson Silva blue hollow laser, number to 49. Like I said, just comes with a whole bunch of other Anderson Silva cards. Even got some stuff going back to some 2015 Topps Chronicles. So definitely a good Anderson Silva starter set. And we got Holly Holm, blue hollow laser, number to 49. Giga Chikadze, he's going to be in action next weekend against Alex Caceres. So this one's also blue hollow laser, number to 49. We've got Jared Cannonier, red hollow laser, number to 75. Ruby Wave. Just got some old optic cards. Blue Velocity laying around. Also got some 2020 tops. You get Volcanos Demir, Red Hollow Laser, also the Select Tricolor, Select Silver. Got some Select and some Prism thrown in there. Have to start making another stack for these. So we got the Derek Lewis Silver Hollow Laser, also with the Octagon Royalty, and a Silver Prism. Valentina Shevchenko, Silver Hollow Laser, Silver Prism. So those are the last numbered cards we have, but we do have some relic cards. Michelle Pereira, Octagon Canvas. Jeff Neal, Octagon Canvas. That comes with a Hyper. So move some of our other Octagon Canvas and relic cards this week. We hit Sean Strickland last week. That one sold right before the show started. So looking forward to putting that in somebody's hands this week. Appreciate that. So let's get these out of the way, and then we'll get into this box of Donruss. And you never know what I have laying around. So we'll get into that at some point, to some of the lots that I don't have listed yet. But let's get ready here. Get these gloves on. Protect these cards the best we can. Like I said, I've got a Habib Nurmagomedov lot that I don't have listed. Shavkat, Hamzat. Got a Habib auto I've been holding on to a little while. Going to be listing my Tom Aspinall collection soon. That includes a graded card. So number to 25, a rookie, the red cracked ice from Chronicles auto. So got about 4 Tom Aspinall autos that we can, get out to somebody. Look forward to going through that one day. So we're opening cards here the next 6 weeks, but maybe after that we start looking at moving Tom Aspinall. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into box number 8 out of 10 of Donruss. Let me get a quick drink here. All right, box 8 of 10, and like I said, really haven't hit anything crazy, so still looking for what we would consider a case hit, I think. And just to let you know, last week we were shut out in the auto department, but 2 of our boxes have had multiple autos in them, so we're not going to complain too much because we're still working out that average of 1 per box. We're actually a little bit over that, but still, a lot of them have been base autos, so just nothing real insane. We haven't had a 30th anniversary card in a while either. Let's get those up there. Okay, here we go. Finally. All right, we go through all these just in case anybody. We do upload the show to all the audio podcast platforms after the show. So if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, any other podcast networks that you're listening, and then you hear something that you might want, and then you can go back and look at it later and check it out, see if you really want that. So we just go through them all, so we can kind of talk about the fighters too if we need to. So Uriah Faber, Ryan Spann, Grant Dawson, Shamil Abdurakhimov. That's the hardest one in the whole set to me. Paddy Pimblett, Mackenzie Dern, Ilya Topuria, Saeed Nurmagomedov, Alexander Volkanovski, John Jones, Jermaine Durandamy, Demir Ismagulov, Charles Oliveira, Julian Robertson, Derek Lewis, Robert Whitaker, Max Holloway, Forrest Griffin, Jose Aldo, Sadiq Youssef, Jalen Turner, Jimmy Flick, Ricky Simone, Tatsuro Taira. That helps because we that was one of the last rookies that we hit was Taira, and we only have one, and now we're kind of working on building another because I'd like to sell a whole base set that includes the rookies and the authority of the Octagon. That'd be a really good set for somebody. So silver press proof Connor, silver press proof Randy Brown, and got something to Matt Hughes here, and it's a silver hollow laser with a nice print line at the top, so thanks Panini. We'll go back through all of our hits at the end of the show. I'll pull out that Randy Brown. Could have used that one in a base though. Would have been nice. Well, maybe somebody can get a whole set and just the Randy Brown to be a press proof instead. There we go, and finish off this pack with the Stipe Miocic, Brock Lesnar fantasy matchups. And we got John Jones, Octagon Marvels. Got another Juliana Pena Crunch Time. And that finishes off that pack. Move one of these back down here. All right. Macy Chason, Irene Aldana, Santiago Ponzinibbio, Alexander Volkov, Jorge Masvidal, Giga Chikadze, Sean Strickland, Islam Makhachev, Cynthia Calvillo, Arman Saryukian, Alexander Gustafsson, Rose Namajunas, Macy Barber, Rich Franklin, Dustin Poirier, Rafael Fiziev, Brock Lesnar, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Rob Font, Matt Schnell, Jennifer Maya, Stephen Thompson, Anthony Smith. There we go. Another Bo Nickel. Get another one of those later on with some color thrown on there. Then we go Andrea Lee, silver press proof, Bobby Green, silver, Beneil Dariush, purple. Got the Untouchables, Surreal Gun. Other fantasy matchups with Yuri Prochazka and Tito Ortiz, and Octagon Marvels, Glover Teixeira. We have Sergey Pavlovich, Alex Caceres, Chael Sonnen, Arnold Allen, Marlon Vera, Glover Teixeira, Sergey Spivak, Nikita Krylov, Li Jianlang, Henry Cejudo, Tom Aspinall, Brandon Moreno, Andrea Lee, Mike Brown, Francis Ngannou, Chan Sung Young, Alessandre Pantoja, Kevin Holland, Jack Shore, Tatiana Suarez, Cub Swanson, Vince Pichel. I think we have more of him than anybody else. Calvin Kattar, and another Chris Curtis rookie. If you are in need of multiple Chris Curtis rookies, this is your place. Press Proofs, Korean Zombie, Matt Hughes, and we've got another Jared Cannonier color. So we've got now the blue Holo Laser number 249 to go along with our red that we hit last week. So we'll be adding those together. If you're working on a Jared Cannonier rainbow for Donruss, there you go. And finish this one off with Valentina Shevchenko Dominators, Amanda Nunes, the Untouchables, and we've got an Untouchables press proof of Aljamain Sterling. Lost that belt last night. So here we go. Dan Ige, Neil Magny, Justin Gagey, Holly Holm, Alexander Romanov, Tito Ortiz, Daniel Rodriguez, Blago Ivanov, Abubakar Nurmagomedov, Josh Emmett, Gilbert Burns, Jens Pulver, Yair Rodriguez, Caitlin Chukagian, Hoist Gracie, Stipe Miocic, Piotr Jan, Merab Dvalishvili, Matt Serra, Edson Barboza, Rafaela Sunsao, Leon Edwards, Jamal Hill, and Andre Petrosky. Silver Press proves Mike Brown, Adrian Yanez, got a purple, Anderson Silva, Stairmasters, Jorge Masvidal, Octagon Marvels, Zhang Wei Li, and a Crunch Time Beneil Dariush. So nothing exciting in that pack. Go Juliana Pena, Tracy Cortez, Brian Ortega, Alexa Grasso, Yuri Prochazka, Valentina Shevchenko, Bilal Muhammad, Marvin Vettori, Michael Bisping, Tim Means, Colby Covington, Matt Brown, Jared Cannonier, Song Yadong, Andrei Arlovsky, Kelvin Gastelum, Israel Adesanya, Dustin Jacoby, Lauren Murphy. Just a funny story about Lauren Murphy if you follow her on social media. She lives here in the Houston area as well, and you know it's been 100 plus, been 105, 106 the last few weeks, and she and her significant other decided to work on the roof of their house last week. You can see a nice little sunburn that Lauren Murphy picked up last week. It's pretty gruesome. So get well, Lauren, and stay hydrated. Zhang Wei Li, Cody Garbrandt, Amanda Hebas, Kamaru Usman. There was another one we did not have two of, Raul Rosas Jr. So think we may have enough to include rated rookies in a set. A whole Donruss set, hopefully. Silver press proof Jamal Hill, Paul Craig, and purple Carol Hossa. Got a retro series Michael Bisping, the Untouchables Yuri Prochazka, Stairmasters Brock Lesnar. So kind of another shutout on that one. Halfway through. So still looking for an auto and a relic. Joaquin Buckley, Vicente Luque, Daniil Dariush, Mateusz Gamrot, Habib Nurmagomedov, TJ Dillashaw, Johnny Walker, Vivian Araujo, Sean Brady, Misha Tate, Marcin Tybura, BJ Penn, Ketlin Vieira, Jack Hermanson, Tyler Santos, Jessica Andrade, Dominic Reyes, Bryce Mitchell, Andre Muniz, Carol Hossa, Anderson Silva, Casey O'Neill, Michelle Pereira, and we got an Authority of the Octagon, Mark Goddard. Silver press proof Francis Ngannou. Teal press proof of Jan Blachowicz. And we've got silver hollow laser Jack Shore. I think we had a blue earlier on that we sold. So now we've got a silver. There we go. Crunch Time, Jessica Andrade. The Untouchables, Muhammad Mokaev. Retro Series, Matt Serra. So 4 packs left. No auto, no relic yet. And not what I would consider a case hit either. Out of all of the packs that we've opened. We got a big winner last night. Ian Gary, Conor McGregor, Paul Craig, Darren Till, Bobby Green, Adrian Yanez, Matt Hughes, Corey Sandhagen, Paulo Costa, Manon Fiorot, Chuck Liddell, Tai Tuivasa, Rafael dos Anjos, Hamzat Chimaev, Yana Santos, Cyril Gahn, Amanda Nunes, Kaikar France, Jan Blachowicz, Derek Brunson, Robbie Lawler, Jeff Neal, Aljamain Sterling, Authority of the Octagon, Jason Herzog, Silver Press Proof, Leon Edwards, and Ian Gary, and Vicente Luque with the purple, and Amanda Nunes, Crunch Time. I think that was the last Crunch Time we were missing, so I think we have all those now. 2 more, Kamaru Usman, Dominators, and John Jones, the Untouchables. All right, Brad Tavares, big win last night over Chris Weidman, Alexander Rakic, Mark Coleman, Curtis Blades, Pedro Munoz, Marina Rodriguez, Daniel Cormier, Dan Hooker, Nathaniel Wood, Umar Nurmagomedov, Ryan Hall, Panny Kianzad, George St. Pierre, Carla Esparza, Michael Chiesa, Dean Thomas, Volkan Ozdemir, Davison Figueiredo, Chris Dawkins, Alonzo Minifield, Khalil Roundtree Jr., Dominic Cruz. There we go, the Randy Brown base. And next, we've got a relic. You gotta be kidding me. We pulled the Octagon canvas, Sean Strickland, last week. That's crazy. Not even numbered or anything. Man. It's not that I'm disappointed like Sean Strickland. He's fighting for a title in a couple of weeks, but just getting the same fighter, think they would spread those out a little bit better. So just kind of disappointed to get the same fighter. So there we go. This box has not been the best. This case has not been the best. We can go that far with it. So I think we got 2 sets of rookies now. Maybe include those in a complete set. And I think we have all the authority of the Octagon to be able to do that. Darren Till, Silver Press Proof, Islam, Teal. What we've got here with Mike Brown. Got a red, Hollow Laser, Mike Brown, number 75. We'll be excited to get back to Prism, as I'm sure all of you are as well. Let's see what we can pull out of there. Still got a couple of weeks though, still 3 weeks away. Aljamain Sterling, Octagon Marvels, Crunch Time, Charles Oliveira, the Dominators, Israel Adesanya. So got our memorabilia out of the way. Still looking for an auto. And after getting to Sean Strickland Octagon Canvas, I hope it's something big. Li Jiang Lang, Henry Cejudo, Tom Aspinall, Brandon Moreno, Magomed Ankalaev, Sean O'Malley, your new bantamweight champion, Movsar Evloev, Julia Avila, Tony Ferguson, Brandon Royval, Alex Perez, Jimmy Crute, Vince Pichel, Calvin Cater, Michael Chandler, Yair Rosenstrike, Tisha Torres, Raquel Pennington, Mateus Nicolau, Gerald Mearshart, Yan Xiaonan, Chris Weidman, Shogun Hua, and Jack Della Maddalena. Like I said, we've got that select auto purple 49 of JDM. So if anybody would love to take that off my hands, it'd be a good one. Rafael Sunsao with the silver. Got Amanda Lemos with a teal. Got something numbered here of Santiago Ponzinibbio, and it is a red Hollow Laser, number 75. See what else we got in here. Israel Adesanya, the Untouchables, Hamzat Chimaev, Stairmasters, and I think this is the only Octagon Marvels that we were missing. Tai Tuivasa. So finish that off. Thank you very much. and now hit every card in Donruss. You'll do that with a case. Usually in one box, in one hobby box, you'll get most of the complete set, if not all of it. Alright, so we're still hoping for an auto in this last pack. Alright, here we go. Josh Emmett, Gilbert Burns, Sergey Pavlovich, Alex Caceres, Chael Sonnen, Arnold Allen, Marlon Vera, Glover Teixeira, Sergey Spivak, Nikita Krylov, Rafael Sunsao, Leon Edwards, Jamal Hill, Andrea Lee, Mike Brown, Francis Ngannou, Chan Sung Young, Alessandre Pantoja, Kevin Holland, Jack Shore, Tatiana Suarez, Cub Swanson. Got a Jailton Almeida rookie, and we do have an auto coming up. So, not getting shut out on this one. And it is Piotr Jan. Signature Series Piotr Jan. That'll work out well. I've got a ton of Piotr Jan sitting around. So that one's not numbered. It's the base auto. So if you want that, you'll get a lot of other color from the last 2 years with that one, because that's the first auto or numbered Piotr Jan I've hit. So let's go back and get Jailton Almeida. This was a good box for finishing off some of these sets. I think we finished everything with this one. Getting the Tai Tuivasa Octagon Marvels was a big one. Edson Barboza to finish off the box. Silver press proof, Jimmy Crute. And a purple press proof with Andre Muniz. Octagon Marvels, Hamzat Chimaev. Crunch Time Max Holloway. BJ Penn Retro Series. And that will do it. So there we go. So let's go back through these. We put the rated rookies in here. Just sleeve those and then we'll go through them. Not counting them as hits, but we do like to separate those for those who want them. So Tatsuro Taira got a Randy Brown silver. So we start off with the Matt Hughes silver hollow laser. That print line at the top, you might be able to see that. You can see it because the little beams on the hollow laser stop and then they start up at a different place. Bo Nickel, Chris Curtis, rated rookie. Then we got a Jared Cannonier blue hollow laser number /49. We've also got a red that we hit last week. Andre Petrosky, Raul Rosas Jr., Jack Shore, silver laser hollow, silver hollow laser, whichever way. Like I said, we hit a blue of Jack earlier in our case. Same Octagon canvas that we hit last week, so kind of bummed about that. But Sean Strickland, hopefully somebody else wants one, like somebody wanted one today. So there you go. Randy Brown, we got a Mike Brown red hollow laser number /75. Jack Della Maddalena, Santiago Ponzinibbio red hollow laser. And it finished it off, got our auto with our last pack. And it's a Piotr Jan Signature Series. That's just the base. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed going through that box of Donruss. It was interesting. I've never seen the same relic card in two straight boxes or even in the same case, so that's kind of weird that it worked out that way. But appreciate you joining us here another Sunday night. If you want any of those cards, any of the stuff that you saw before that we've hit before, if you just want to know what we have, reach out to us. You can email me at russ@orange-fire.com. You can go to our new website, orange-fire.com. You can find us on X and Instagram at FightCardsRuss or at OrangeFire Media. Find me on Facebook, Russ Renault, RENAAU, or Orange Fire Media. And also check out our eBay store, because if somebody doesn't claim these on the show, then they end up on eBay in the following week. And you can find that at Orange Fire Lots of Lots. And you buy the numbered card, the autograph card, whatever it is, and I will throw in whatever other cards of that fighter I have that aren't numbered, the base, and some of the colored cards that just aren't numbered. You end up, somebody bought a Mackenzie Dern auto from me this week, and they ended up with a blue wave just thrown in. So that's what I try to do. Just try to get. It serves two purposes. Obviously, you PC that fighter, or you like that fighter, and you buy them, and so you're going to get some extra of them. And it also helps me move some cards out of the way and make room for more. So hope that you will take a look and reach out and see what else I have. Not everything's listed, just because time and energy, I can't get everything up there, and kind of hold stuff back so there's not too much on there at one time. So that's the deal with buying those. And so this is where you come. You don't have to buy into a break. You can come here and just watch me open cards, and you can buy what's on here. So that's what we try to do here on the show, and hope you enjoy it. So next week we'll be looking at Fight Night from Singapore with Max Holloway and Chan Sung Young, the Korean Zombie, good Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann matchup, and Giga Chikazi and Alex Casera. So it's a pretty decent card. Can't even forget a great women's matchup in the flyweight division with Aaron Blanchfield and Tyler Santos. Always look forward to watching Aaron Blanchfield's star continue to rise. See what she does against Santos. Should be a great fight. Looking for a Blanchfield win out of that. Just, been a big fan of hers, just the way she's carried herself and the way she's dominated here in the early going. So we'll talk about that, and then the rest of the schedule, see if any other fights are released this week. If they do, we'll talk about them. So, like I said, 2 more weeks of Donruss. We got box number 9 and 10 out of this case, and then we got 4 boxes of Prism to go after that. So it's going to be a lot of fun over the next few weeks, especially when we get to that Prism, and looking forward to it, and hope you will join us for that. So once again, I'm Russ Renault. Thanks for joining us here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. We'll be right back here next Sunday night, as we are every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central, live on YouTube, and then you can find us on all of the audio podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything else. So just subscribe to the show. You can be entered to our card giveaways, and just leave us a good rating, and hopefully these numbers will go up, and everybody can come in here and build a great UFC community here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast. So once again, appreciate it. Thanks for starting your week off here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you again next Sunday right here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media.